Hey, good morning. It's Thursday, October 23rd. We're going to solve today's New York Times crossword. Today's puzzle is constructed by Amy Lucido, whose name we have certainly seen here in the byline. She's been around. That's as specific as I can get. I just know I recognize the name. We're on a 125-day streak. That's pretty good. Headed towards 185. I love it. We're making progress. 2/3 of the way there. And trying to think what else is going on. This is the Cross Boss channel. My name's Morgan, and thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know. It was feeling pretty wintry here in the Rocky Mountains for a minute. We got a little bit of snow, and that's kind of backed off, and it's gotten to be some nice fall weather again. But we are at the point of the year when I'm like praying for the time change, which is weird because it's still, you can see outside, it's 7:30 in the morning, and it's nearly black outside. So hoping that changes pretty fast. And yeah, what else is going on? NBA started, so I'm deeply immersed in that. Although my Celtics, not great. Trying to think puzzle-wise, though, what else is happening. Yesterday's Wednesday puzzle was about the toughest Wednesday I could remember in a while. And I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. I really struggled. Like 35 minutes to get a solve done. So it's been a tough week. And today will likely be no exception. It's Thursday. We're expecting some wordplay, some trickery, some trickeration. Who knows? Misdirection. It's all in play. And so let's find out what we've got in store today. Without further ado, let's do it. Hope your week's going well. Areas of development. Punch in the stomach sounds. Like oofs, right? Oofs. Genre for Black, Pink, and Stray Kids. I'm gonna guess this is K-pop, because this would be Kareem. Kareem must have hated that when LeBron passed him for most points. K-pop. I just saw something that like K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix has, 400 million views or something, like bonkers. It's funny just how many things in the world are happening that are relevant to everyone, or to like a huge part of society, but not to you. That's how I feel about Taylor Swift also. Helvetica like typeface. I don't know. I do know that 1UP is probably outdo, though, so I'm going to plug that in. Button to hit after accidentally deleting an entire manuscript. Undo. Don't do that. You should be auto-saving your manuscript. International footwear retailer based in Quebec. I'm trying to think, like, the only thing I can think of with 4 letters that begins with an A would be, like, Avia. International footwear. Stealthiest of stealthy warriors. I mean, like a samurai or a ninja. Stealthiest of stealthy warriors. Warren Beatty film based on 10 Days That Shook the World. I mean, I don't know that film or that book. Reporters often carry them. Like lanyard, like a credential. Lanyard? Lanyards? Might be. Relaxed. At ease. Soldier. Call her daddy podcast host Cooper. I don't know. Words of denial. Like, no. He's just not that into you. Erin Brockovich is the actress. I just recently listened to Julia Roberts on Smartless, the podcast Smartless, and she's like pretty amazingly down to earth and cool for someone who's been a giant movie star for that long. So, way to go, Julia. A case opener. Location that requires tickets for checking out, but not checking in. Tickets for checking out, but not checking in. End of a municipal address. Let's say that's .gov, right? 1887 drama on which a Puccini opera is based. Good luck. Things opened before passengers exited an aircraft. Things opened. I mean, those big doors, or that big door, things opened. The overhead. Composers' Rights Organization. Difference between a B and a C, perhaps. Like one answer, maybe. I don't know. Star of NBC's The Blacklist. So I thought this was James Spader. I think this is James Spader. Which means that we have J.A. I'm going to say that that's what's going on here. We've got a rebus, and it's James Spader. So we have mess would be what's going on here. And I think this is LBJ. I'm just guessing. Oops. LBJ. Oh, FDR. Cool. So hopefully mess fits with our theme. TV's warrior princess is Xena. Lucy Lawless. Done in geometry class. Brief moments in brief. I guess that's like sex, like in a sec. Rosh Hashanah. Units equal to roughly a quarter of a calorie. Cook outside. River through Kazakhstan. Sports craze of the 2020s as seen 3 times in this grid. Okay, so sports craze of the 2020s. I mean, the only sports craze of the 2020s I can think of is pickleball, which has completely taken over. And that does fit, so. Pickleball. But, like, how would that? Little more than. Ingredients in some mouthwashes. Clay being of Jewish folklore. Is that like a golem? Yeah, Lou Vega, right? Lou Vega? Is Vega even a name? Is that how you spell golem? I don't know. And this is Ashley Simpson with 2 E's. Troubadour. I kind of like that name because it's like, instead of like, you know, people from the South or something, and it's like, oh, like Mary Lee, and it's like, no, we're just gonna like add Lee as the end of your regular name. Troubadour is something. Thomas Hardy heroin, wheel connectors, well that's axles. All right, so 6:28, which is pretty terrible first pass. Like that's, I'm shooting for like a 5-minute first pass. I did chat a little bit, but that's pretty long. And I'm really not sure where this theme is going. Although pickleball seems to be filling itself in here nicely. I'm just going to assume that that's right. Helms, there we go. So pickleball. So how does that fit into a theme? Should we, informally, AL East athlete. Well, that's probably a Yankee. They lost. Pretty happy about that. So now I'm rooting for the Blue Jays to get her done. Money maker. That's like a minter or a coiner, right? Money maker. Although like mint, I don't know. It's not minter. Peninsula south of California. I mean the Baja Peninsula. Right? It's an affront. Worst possible Amazon rating, 1 star. Sammy Sosa. You've overstayed your welcome. Please go. You've overstayed your welcome is clear but still gentle. Please go is pretty aggressive. Figures on DraftKings or FanDuel odds. And put forward is to pose, right? Reds. Okay, so that must be a communist kind of thing. Reds. Something Nicholas. Remotest. Like San Nicholas. What is the stealthiest of stealth warriors? Set of notches in a dictionary. A set of notches? This is not going well. This might not go well. Classic Camaros. Words of denial, like knots. Not I. Not I, probably. Is this like IROX? IROX. Didn't mean to offend you. Best ever. Neither nor. Neither nor not I. Common fixtures over fireplaces are TVs, right? Which seems weird. I got to assume heat isn't great for a television. This is an opening argument, right? So, what is this? Like thumb index? TU. Is it a thumb index? I mean, that is like, God. And this is something that, I mean, I'm like about as young as a person who used that type of a dictionary or encyclopedia. I remember my dad remarried in 1989, and my new stepbrother Casey had the whole Encyclopedia Britannica series, and it was like, oh, this is amazing. I can do so much research for my papers. Crazy. I mean, crazy to think not that long ago, that's how we did research. Best ever, informally. Part of U.S., what is this? Marine Academy? So, ACAD. Accounts are tails. I'll answer all your questions. That's an AMA. That's a good one. That's from Reddit. That's Ask Me Anything. This is sight of a huge annual crowd. It's like James Spader. I have a lot of crossing confirmations here that seem like that's going to work. Huge annual crowd. High place to view a high art. Oh, an opera box. Paintings on plaster are a bit of food for a hamster. That's like a pellet. Some, not all. Certain salad veggies are cukes. Cook outside. Oh, it is Bega. Sunbathe. I was like, is Bega a name? Where Rudolph could first be seen in 2000. Oh, Maya Rudolph. A checkers move is a jump, right? Product with a Cakesters variety. That's got to be Oreo, which has way too many varieties. Said angrily. A speck in La Seine is an eel. So we're making progress here, and I'm feeling pretty good that James Spader is my answer for that one themer, but I don't really get how that fits into pickleball, and I have no idea about the rest of these themers, and this Northwest really needs some help. Oh, and maybe this isn't an ALE, maybe this is an Oriole. I mean, it's not a Red Sox, it's not a Blue Jay, it's not a Devil Ray or Tampa Bay Ray. So areas of development. I'm going to say this ends in S. This might be snub, maybe, and a front. Helvetica, but that feels like aerial. Is it a slap? Aerial slap? Stealthiest of stealth warriors. Ninja something. I really want this to be ninja. Reporters often carry them. Notepads. Call her daddy. Oh, jeez, I have no idea who that is, or, that's going to be really tough. Location requires tickets for checking out, but not checking in. A coat room? Coat room? Yeah. And things opened before passengers exit an aircraft. Well, some kind of doors, right? So if this was thumb index, that would be BIND, bind. A bind, a mess. A pickle, okay. A bind, a mess, a pickle, okay. All right. Oops, that's that. And so what is this, though? Oh, the cabin doors. Cabin doors, okay. So that's helpful, because now I know that it works up and across. It works up and down and across. Best ever is the GOAT, greatest of all time, IROX, okay. Difference between B and a C is a half step. Done in geometry class. I don't know what that is. Units equal to roughly a quarter of a calorie. Oh, those are joules. Ural River. A little more than mere. Could this be aloe in a mouthwash? That seems weird, but yeah, that's going to be Fresco. Aloe. I don't really want that in my mouthwash. A troubadour is a poet. Thomas Hardy heroine. Spat. And Tess. Okay. All right, we are officially making progress. Just got to get this themer up here, and then we'll be on the home stretch. Should we informally? So like wanna, maybe? Oops. Wanna? Oh, wombs are where we develop, of course. Money maker is a minter. So like one who mints, not the place where the money is made. And this is a ninja. Oh, this is Baja, Mexico. Is that right? Baja. A jam. Okay, Baja, Mexico. Ninja Masters. There we go. Didn't mean to offend you. No shade. And a site of huge annual crowd is Times Square. Oops. We did it. We solved this puzzle in 17 minutes and 13 seconds. You guys were minimally helpful, but it was better than nothing. And so what do we have here? So pickle, sports craze of the 2020s as seen 3 times in this grid. So pickleball, so if you're in a pickle, you're in a jam, you're in a bind, you're in a mess. Simple, elegant, easy, well executed. And I kind of like that the revealer was, as soon as I read Sports Craze of the 2020s, pickleball was the only thing that came to mind. And I like that it kind of led me in that direction and forced me to flesh that out a bit. I think this is pretty well done. Way to go, Amy Lucido. Let's have a look. Wombs we develop in the womb. Oofs, K-pop. Like Blackpink and Stray Kids. I feel like those are both like kind of, I don't know, if those were the names of like heavy metal bands, I wouldn't be shocked. It's interesting that they're K-pop. Ariel is Helvetica-like. It's funny, like, we all use Microsoft Word and whatever, and I don't have any idea what the fonts are. I'm always going with the default font unless something has been requested. Maybe that's on me, but I don't know. I'm not a real font hound. Undo, Aldo, Ninja Masters, Reds. I wonder, maybe I should see that movie. It's funny, Warren Beatty, like, when I think of, all-time actors, he's not on that list, but he was kind of like an all-time movie star. And I'm trying to even think, like, what I know Warren Beatty from. He was in, like, Dick Tracy when I was growing up. I can't really think of anything else. I hope that's Warren Beatty. Reporters carry notepads. This seems dated, right? Like, you're carrying your phone and just holding up the mic or whatever. Or maybe the note function on your phone. I don't know. At ease, Alex Cooper. Is that the best Alex we could come up with? I don't know. Alex Cooper, call her daddy. I don't know. Not I. He's just not that into you. Aaron Brockovich, opening argument, coat room, Gov, Latosca. Yeah. So the opera's named Tosca, I think, the Puccini opera, right? Not La Tosca. But so is this a book? It must be. Cabin doors. Hopefully they open the cabin doors before you get off the aircraft. Otherwise, something went wrong. Composers' rights organization BMI. Yeah, half step. I kind of like when this happens, when it's like, this is music and this is music. James Spader. James Spader, definitely known these days for his role on The Office, Robert California. Xena Warrior Princess, QED is a thing in geometry class. I don't know. Sex, Rosh, Jules, Sunbathe is to cook outside. I like that one. Ural. I never know if it's Ural or Aral. Like there's like the Ural River and the Aral Mountains. Is that right? I don't know. But I always have trouble with that. Pickleball mirror, aloe in your mouthwash, gross. A golem, a poet, Tess from Thomas Hardy. Wheel connectors are axles, Wana, Oriole. Yeah. A minter. Should have gone with my instinct on that one. Baja, Mexico. Never been there, but I'll check it out someday, I hope. A slap, outdo, 1 star. Not to be confused with OnStar, the vehicle service. Prez on a U.S. coin. That's garbage. I mean, like Abe would have been fine, right? That's just so loose and not specific to FDR, I guess. Sammy Sosa. That guy hit a lot of home runs, and he looks pretty weird these days. If you haven't seen Sammy Sosa recently, Google image. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem, very interesting character. The HBO show Winning Time really kind of captured some of the Kareemness. Please Go. Odds, Pose. San Nicolas, of course. Thumb Index. I don't think that I've ever heard that term thumb index, but like, if you've opened that type of a dictionary, it's got the notches where your thumb lands, and it tells you kind of what page range you're in. Pretty smart innovation, actually. Whoever came up with the thumb index, smart. IROC, Camaro, No Shade, GOAT, the greatest of all time, Neither Nor, TVs. This reminds me, there's a subreddit called TV Too High, and it's pictures of TVs that have been hung much too high on the wall, and you have to, crane your neck up to see them. It sounds like you would get tired of it in 1 second, but it is shocking how many different ways people find to hang their TV too high. Check it out. U.S. Military Academy, is that right? Military Academy or Marine Academy, I'm not sure. Accounts, Tales, LBJ, AMA. Oh, speaking of Reddit, Times Square. There was one time I was in Massachusetts, it was July 3rd, and I was driving to Hudson, New York to go pick someone up at the train station, and I saw these two guys, young guys, hitchhiking, and I stopped and I pulled over, and they were trying to get to New York. They were a long way from New York. They were an hour away from, a 2-hour train ride to New York kind of thing. And I picked them up, and I brought them with me because I was going to the train station in Hudson, and I said, sure, no problem. And they were from somewhere in Eastern Europe, I can't remember, and they had come to America to work at a summer camp for the summer, and they were shocked to find themselves out in the middle of the countryside in western Massachusetts with nothing to do and no car. And so they were hitchhiking they wanted to go to Times Square to see the fireworks on July 4th, and I didn't have the heart to tell them that sounded like an absolute nightmare scenario. But yeah, rode with these guys for an hour to Hudson, chatted about whatever, dropped them off at the train, and I wish them the best. I hope that they're doing well. They had no place to stay. Their plan was to walk around the city all night until they could get on another train and come back to Massachusetts. Anyways, that was a good time. High place to view a high art is an opera box. You could be potentially seeing Tosca. Who knows? Paintings on plaster are frescoes. Bit of food for hamsters, a pellet. Not all. Ashley Simpson. Cucumbers. SNL. I mean, SNL has to be the number one all-time answer, right? Gotta be. Helms, jump, Oreo, also a pretty common answer. Said angrily, spat. Lou Bega. I gotta listen to that song, that's a trip. Speck in Lassen is an ill, and we're back at wombs. So, we done did it. We solved this puzzle in 1713. Definitely a little bit tougher than an average puzzle, but not too bad. And once I figured out what was going on with this theme, really helped that I had James Spader locked and loaded. It was pretty easy once I figured out that mess had to go here, and then I just had to figure out how mess corresponded to pickle. So here we are. Great pivot, by the way. One of the local ski shops, Troy's Ski Shop here in Vale, their summer thing is pickleball, and when they get rid of all the ski inventory, they just load up with pickleball rackets and balls and whatever, and they have a whole summer gig now. So yeah, it's helped our seasonality around here. Anyways, I'm not sure if I rambled more or less, but I'm exhausted from all the rambling either way. And hope that I didn't bore you. If I didn't bore you, then click the like button. Then I know you were at worst bored but entertained, and you still liked it. So that's always nice when you click that like button. And if you want to see more garbage like this, then you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, Crossboss, and watch me rant about the New York Times crossword. That's the only content you're going to get here. I don't have a ton going on this weekend, but no promises. I'm going to try and do another solve either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but, we'll see. Anyways, thanks for joining me today, and thanks for liking and subscribing. And most importantly, I hope you'll join me again next time for another solve of the New York Times crossword. Thanks. Bye.